welcome. All black everything. Thinkers plight. Big dreams, many streams. We are back. We are back live with when the world was black. We switch it up. Bow, bow, bow. Last night was the power of now. Now it's when the world was black. Come right back where we left off. Peace and love. Love you, my mom. Love you, my pops. How we started off. Miss y'all like crazy. Getting it in, man. Right where we left off. Like and share, subscribe it, thumbs up, like you hitchhiking. There it is. There it is. All right. And it continues. And Africa wasn't a static, unchanging place for the millions of years it was inhabited by people. If we know there were dozens of migrations within the 75,000 years it took for humans to settle the entire globe, just imagine how much movement occurred over millions of years in Africa. Africa's linguistic history can reveal a lot about the migrations and other historical events that occurred in the past. When we incorporate genetic data, and the archaeological record, we're able to deduce a reasonable picture of African prehistory. But it's not easy. It will be the first, excuse me, I'll be the first to admit that this story is a sketchy one, even for specialists in the subject. Many of the oldest human remains have long ago dissolved in the soil. The mostly wood and bone artifacts haven't survived either. Foreign elements have become a part of the narrative, and Eurocentrism has distorted the remaining evidence into a mess that honest scholars must now clean up. Mhm. Shame on y'all. Fortunately, the picture of African prehistory has gotten a lot clearer over the past century. One thing we're pretty certain of is that the mother tongue, the original spoken language of all humanity, was probably most clearly closely related to the Click languages spoken by the ancestors of the Kyotian people who were spread throughout southern and eastern Africa between 100 and 102,000 years ago and 142,000 years ago. The Click language ultimately goes back to East Africa, African roots of civilization where modern humans were born. These people made one of the first exoduses out of Africa to populate the rest of the world. This would explain some of the residue of Click languages in the East African Hadzabe, as well as in the secret Damien Click languages of Australia. Some of these people traveled south where they became the Click speaking Koshians of southern Africa. The fact that the Koshians of southern Africa look so different from the Eastern African Hadzabe is treatment to the physical diversity, testament to the physical diversity of the oldest human populations of Africa. These two communities are both over 100,000 years old, with only minimal outside genetic influence. Yet the Hadzabe look like Wesley Snipes, while the Koshians look like the rapper Cannabis. hmm Very much so. In case you forgot what Cannabis looks like, that means they look like black Chinese people. You remember Can I Bus? Sweaty up in here. I don't know. Pardon me. Pardon me. Let's see. Prehistoric Africa. We've already discussed many of the earliest cultural traditions of East Africa going back over 2 million years. From 2 million BC to 12 AD. East Africa has always been populated, but not everyone who was born there has stayed there. Because of environmental changes, great migrations have left East Africa several times. Several of these migrations went to Asia and Europe and later everywhere else, but many others went into other parts of Africa. This is the African history most historians ignore because the implicit assumption that Africa was only significant in terms of its relationships to the people who wrote the history. And outside of that, it was perfectly fine to leave thousands of years to the imagination. We won't do that here. Genetic studies have revealed that the earliest humans in Africa expanded into many different branches, at least five of which went into other parts of Africa, while only one identified with mtDNA haplogroup L3 went out of Africa. For now, let's focus on some of the lineages that went into other parts of Africa. We'll start with the culture that introduced advanced chemistry and other technology to southern Africa over 50,000 years ago. Ooh, okay, we got to jump into something good right there, something real tasty. We're gonna leave it right there, but that's the hanger right there. What is it that the culture introduced when the world was black? When the world was black, y'all check it out. Do your own research. Don't take my word for anything. We just sharing, dropping this information. Like and share, subscribe, and thumbs up like you're hitchhiking. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Peace and love, y'all. On my pops. Mm-hmm. Again, one more again, one more again. You know how we do it, the bomber style. Bomber